JKR builds. What we are working on today is we went down to Detroit and we picked up a BK-200K adult dune buggy go-kart. We're gonna go ahead and assemble it and test try it out, see what it's all about. I looked them up on the internet. They look pretty awesome. So I figured, why wouldn't I go down and pick one up? So, not sure what all the assembly takes about in it, but we'll get her unwrapped. We'll check you out. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy for assembly. I'm hoping only like maybe 4 to 5 hours tops to get all put together, hopefully. Alright, well, I'll take a look, see what it looks like. It's just a little rain tarp, looks like. In case it sits outside, it doesn't drop, it's a little wet. Wow, okay. Looks like I gotta do quite a bit of assembly. Actually, the seats aren't in, the shocks are on, the wheels are off, roll cage. Wow, looks like I gotta do the steering stem. Alright, there's a little bit more. Wow, the fuel lines aren't even hooked up. That's crazy. Okay. Quite a bit more assembling than what I thought. I better grab a skid steer, see if we cannot get this off. Too bad. Alright, next we're going to be working on taking off the top of this frame. That way we can get to the old dune buggy go-kart deal there. Makes it nice now I have some steel tubing. Looks like 1 by 2 inch. With me being a steel fabricator, always looking for steel. So that's quite a bit of tubing in this steel crate here actually. I'll be using all that for future projects. Alright. If I can get this frame off. Yep, looks good. Not a problem. Oh yeah. All right. Gotta find the instructions real quick. looks like some fenders. Oh, gas tank. All right. I figured the gas tank would be together on this. Okay, tire. Yeah, I bagged the tires up. That's one rear tire. I guess in my paperwork, nuts and bolts going in this box right here. See what we have in here. It's like Christmas time. Now there's some nuts and bolts. There's the title. And there's the instructions that I was looking for. First thing you do is get rid of them. This is a Chinese go-kart, so we don't need instructions. Just start building it, right? Let's see. Part of the roll cage. And this should be the back roll cage. That's strapped down. Overall, looking at this, it looks like actually they did a pretty good job of packaging it. It's not bad actually. There we go. Pretty good job, actually. Oh, there's my flag for the sand dunes. Sand dune flags. All right. Looks like we got ourselves a go-kart here. / dune buggy. What I'm going to probably do next is unbolt it from the bottom of the frame crate, and we'll try to lift it up off there with a skid steer. See how that works out. Alright, not sure about this, but we're going to try to lift that up with a skid steer, get off the bottom of that crate. Hopefully it'll do it. Throw some bolts back there. Well, I'm looking at it here. I think I'm just going to use my skid steer as a hoist here. Might as well. Make it easier. Should. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is get them rear shock bolts in. That way it'll hold up the training, the motor. I like to think of myself as a badass and threw them instructions out like I didn't need them, but to be honest with you, I need them. Nuts and bolts are all going to be different lengths and sizes, and there's no sense of putting the wrong size nut or bolt in and going back and redoing it, right? Well, actually, I've been looking at the instructions for a couple minutes now, and they don't really tell you where the nuts and bolts go, so like I said, you probably don't need that. Might as well just guess on your own. Alright, maybe I am a badass. We'll figure out. We'll see what happens here. We'll just match them to the top, right? You got the rear shock bolts in. Gotta tighten those up. And moving right along here. Alright, rear shocks are in. I'll probably hit the front suspension here now. See what this involves. Actually, I can tell by looking at that, that just goes right in there. So there should be a big nut. Alright, we'll get this front spindles on now. It's gonna be is, oh, there's like a square on the bottom of there that you go to line up. Shouldn't be bad, just like so. Alright, we'll try to get this side in. There we go. Just gotta turn in until you get the square stud to line up with the square hole. Kind of like king guard. Unless you tried to put the square block in the wrong hole, then you might have a problem. But this case scenario, square block going square hole. There we go. See if we can not tighten that up. Don't gotta get crazy on it, just gotta get a little tight to get my collar key in. I don't know if I can go again or not. Should make that. I should have a bigger wrench because of that reason right there. Got me a bigger adjustable wrench instead of an actual box end. I don't like to do things right around here. Little spring pin. Like so. That does that side. Grab this side here. That's pretty good. I don't know if I can go again or not. Gonna try. Oh yeah, just a little bit more and I got her. Just like that. There we go. Good deal. There, while we're here, we might as well go ahead and do the steering tie rods too then. We'll have to see if we can find a... Actually, I think I have them right here. These look like these would be the nuts that go on there, which they are. Looks like we have to do our own alignment on this once we're done. So we're going to want to take that in. Push up on that. There we go. So far, everything feels like a pretty good fit, not bad. Curious to get this together and try out. I'll be right there. I don't dare to go anymore. I don't think I can get it. All right. That's crazy. I guess that's not crazy. I didn't think you'd have to do your own alignment, but let's see if we cannot get this side here. There we go. Oh, there we go. We got it. Yeah, if I remember right, this is they classify as a Coleman BK-200 -K, which is a two-seater adult go-kart dune buggy. They're usually sold at Family Farm. We actually found this on Facebook. There's a guy down in Detroit that has a whole warehouse of these, and we thought we'd try one out. And I thought if we liked it, maybe we'll go back for some more, and we'll put in a dirt track out and back. I got about 6 acres out back that we really don't do nothing with. Be cool to have your own dirt track out back and have fun. But yeah, 200cc, has front rear suspension. They say it'll fit up to a 6'3" adult. So I'm only 5'7", so I should fit in there good. Alright, I got the front done. I think what I'll do now is, let's do these shocks actually. If I do these shocks right now, then I can put the wheels on and we can drop it on the ground and it should hold itself up. Let's see what we have to do with the shock here. Putting these shocks on, I'm not gonna I noticed that they left the spread a little bit wider, and while I'm tightening it up, I'm not wanting to tighten it all up so it clamps on that shock. So you want that shock to be able to move freely. Actually, like this top side here looks like it's too tight. Oh yeah, it's way too tight. Loosen that up. Actually, we'll check the back. A lot of people don't know. They think, oh, the tighter the better on the shock, but they don't understand when you do that, it works as a vise and you're squishing the bushings into the shock body. And when you hit a bump or something, it's actually just kind of fighting it a little bit. So you want all that to move freely. It took me a few years to figure out and when I was younger, but once I did, work a little better, work a little smoother. Grab this side shock here. Actually, that doesn't feel too bad. It's a little tight up there. I'll probably end up loosening that also a little bit. So. See if we can get this in. Oh, there's a lot of stress on this one. Oh. Come on. Cannot get that to move. Try that, I guess. Guess that'll work. There we go. Do the wrong thing. Hammer in a little bit. That way you wreck the threads. Oh, I should have my air hooked up. Oh, it's a nice night. Better enjoy wrenching, right, they say. This is like my therapy right here. Some people have to go see a shrink. All I gotta do is grab some wrenches and start getting happy. I'm gonna loosen this top one a little bit just so it has some little bit of freedom on it. I know it's pretty tight. There we go. I think what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and throw the wheels on it and we'll set her down on the ground. Grab some wheels. Oh, that should be the passenger side according to the tread. Almost the thread. Of course, make sure your valve stem is on the outside so you can put air in your tire. Doing pretty good. Haven't had to look at the directions yet, but it doesn't really matter because if you look at them, it doesn't make no sense anyway. So it's pretty straightforward so far. Haven't seen nothing crazy. So. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the clock too. It's I started on it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so that way we'll know how long it takes. But we do have quite a bit to assemble yet. All right, let me see if I can grab electric impact. We'll zip those babies on. All right. All right. Oh, my skid steer is bleeding down a little bit. Oh, I was bending over, my back started hurting a little bit there. Take up the old car oil. Just like so. It's kind of weird how they package the back tires, but not the front. Must have been just how they sat in there. Oh, let me see. According to the tread, going like so. So far, all the tires are put on correctly. Haven't seen one backwards yet, so we're doing good. And this is the last one, and that one's right. So somebody paid attention. Uh-oh. I was worried about that. We're getting a little low on nuts. Let's see if we can use the nuts off the frame there. Ew, looks like they fit. Perfect. So apparently, when you run out of nuts in your little nut and bolt bag, I guess you just go ahead and start taking the bolts and nuts off the frame. And that way you have it. Anything to save money, right? I'm still too short. And I only have one up here. And that's a lot smaller. Alright. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to walk around the driveway here where I took that frame apart. Oh, there's one right there. Try to find the nuts, I guess. I didn't know them nuts that were on the crate was the nuts to hold my wheels on. I did not know that. So if you get one of these, keep that in mind, that your lug nuts is help cranking up your go-kart. I'm still one short, but I guess I'm just going to pick up every nut and bolt that I find from that crate, because I'm scared when you get towards the end, this could be for the roll cage or something, I guess. But yeah, I'm missing one more nut. Hopefully we can find that. Actually, right here's one I picked up earlier. We'll see if that fits. Well, it'll be a hot dog. There we go. All right. We'll go ahead and set that base down. Just like so. Start this up, we'll drive her out. Got the front front and back suspension on. Oh yeah, it's pretty nice. Goes down slow, comes up fast. That's pretty decent actually. Front's a little springboard action. Thought it'd be slower, but all right, we'll continue on. All right, we'll try to get the steering up on there. See how that bolts on. I just looked, it's 5:30. So I've been on it for an hour and a half and didn't really get too far. I guess a lot of it's messing around, getting it out of the crate and unbox and everything. Anyways, that's pretty simple there. Because there's a nut welded up underneath. The bolts were in there with a flat and lock. So I'm gonna say that is how that goes on. And once we get this all built, we'll have to go through it and see if there's any grease there. Probably isn't, but to make sure, I'll double check everything. And of course, you always want to make sure that there's oil in the engine. They told me that there would be, but doesn't hurt to double check. It's a 4-stroke 200cc. Yeah, the guy I got this from down in Detroit there, he had 130 crates of these. It's crazy. He said he bought them in bulk, all the leftovers from TSC and family farm stores, I guess. So I don't know how he got hooked up with that, but well, we got the steering on. Not looking too shabby. I'm liking it. Nice wide front stance. It's coming together. Can't wait to get her done, finished, and take her for a rip. Then what I thought, what we're gonna do is see if we can get these seats mounted in there, I guess. See if how easy that's gonna be. Oh, let's see. Lightweight like that. Okay. We have some tracks. So they're adjustable seats. It looks like you slide the front in. There's some pins down here. Might have to get some cardboard or something here. Simple actually. See how that works. That's going to be right. All right. Yeah, we have to hook that front in. So you move the rails all the way back. do it for the seats. Looks pretty good. Alright, we'll check out this oil tank. Or not oil tank, oil cooler. Kind of figure out where this is gonna go. Alright, we have a plate there. Alright, looks like to me that's gonna bolt right there. Then I'm guessing the back half here will bolt to the roll cage is what I'm guessing. Roll bar. So it probably goes like this, I imagine. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Besides the holes don't line up. Might have to drill it out. That's the first problem I see there. Close, but... Alright, actually I pulled the cooling oil cooler back a little bit. I was able to get that bolt in there, so... Just a little bit of clearance there, clearance. Those around. They're off a little bit, but not enough to not get on. I just checked the clock. It's been 2 hours we've been on this. Not too bad for not really using no power tools. Of course, back when it was 10 mil, never had the same size. There we go. Now I feel things happening. I'm gonna actually leave that a little bit loose so we don't have a problem of lining that up with the roll cage or anything. Oil lines must just kind of sit there like so. I think I would like to do next, let's check out that gas tank. That was right here. Good. The bolts and nuts are in that, so. Gas caps on it, that's good. Has a petcock. Mount like that. Should be alright right there, right? Petcock would be backwards. So if it went this way. Way over there. It does feel like it's tight. What we'll do is we'll leave that petcock on. I don't see why you really got to turn it on and off. Alright. I thought that was the fuel pump. Let's try and get that snap ring on the gas line here. Okay. I got it. Has a fill filter, looks good. Alright, took me a few minutes, but I found in some bolts and nuts that'll work. Oh, this one's too small, we gotta get rid of that. There's these beveled washers that I found in there. So it just makes sense that it would go between the tank bracket and this bar. Then probably one on the bottom, I imagine. Well, that's what I'm guessing. It just makes sense to me. Just like that. You see here. Came prepared. Got them in my pocket this time. So again, bolt. Bevel washer. Spacer, I'll say, not washer, but more of a spacer. And your bevel again. And your nut. Just like so. Grab this other side here. Came prepared in my pocket. So again, a bolt, spacer, so far everything's lining up good. Spacer again. Perfect. There we go. Then I go ahead and tighten this down. I'll make sure my washers are beveled correctly to the bar, which they just automatically go. Just like that. Perfect. Oh, drop it around. There we go. All right. There we go. One more. Overall, over everything, I'm pretty happy with this. The frame seems pretty sturdy and pretty tubular structure-wise. I like it. It's coming together really well. It's just taking a little longer than I thought. We're at 2.5 hours right now. But yeah, I think I'm going to call her a night now. And getting pretty wore out. So we'll jump back on it tomorrow for part 2. So thanks again. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you.